Hi, Blake with BlvdHome. We're getting a lot of comments about ice makers. I know we talk about ice makers a lot, but there's kind of some confusion with some ice makers. So we're going to talk about the different types of ice makers and do I need to clean my ice makers and what the difference is between an ice maker and an ice machine. They are the big difference, and the key word is maker and machine. So we're going to get into this. Let's get started. So with ice makers, now these are standard refrigerators that have ice makers built in, and there's two basic types of ice makers that manufacturers are putting in the machine. Now one has kind of been the old traditional type. Now we have the newer style, which is called the flex mold. Now flex molds, they were around for a time way back when I first started doing this. Now they didn't last very long. Many manufacturers didn't use them because of the types of plastic they have, and that's what's called the flex molds. If you want a picture of flex mold, it's basically an ice maker that has a plastic mold in it, and just like those blue trays you'd stick in your refrigerator, you'd pull them out, go to the sink and you'd crack them and hope that the ice stayed in it and didn't fall into your sink or everywhere else all over the counter. Well, that's kind of what this is, but it's just in a miniaturized form. So basically it's a flex mold, so every time the ice maker runs, the mold does flex, and when it flexes, the ice falls out of the mold into the bin, makes a nice crashing sound when it comes in. It's pretty fantastic, you know, depending on how empty the ice maker is. But that is the type they went to. Now they went away from for a long period of time because the plastics wouldn't hold up. As they flexed and kept doing that, the molds themselves, they would actually start to crack. And when they would crack, they would leak water through them and leak down to the bin. And they would do them pretty quickly for the life of the product. The newer ones, they still crack. I hate to tell you, they still do. But with the newer plastics and the new polymers and everything that they put into them, they hold up a whole lot better than what they used to. Plus, they have a lot of energy savings for the refrigerator, and we'll get into that here in a minute. So right here, we got an LG refrigerator. With it here, this is where we have our flex mold ice maker located right up in here. When they run, they do twist, so the motor runs it. They take the mold and they twist, but when it runs, basically it runs to a certain point. At a certain point, the back part of the ice maker, opposite side of where the drive head is, will stop, and the front part will keep rotating and basically cause it to flex and for the ice to fall out. And then it goes back to the home position. After it gets back to the home position, then it fills up with water. The system works great, and the reason that they've gone to this system is because the older system had a heater on it. Now that heater introduced warmth into the refrigerator section, and it also uses energy. So both of those things are actually counting against the manufacturer as far as energy usage requirements that they have to meet to have their Energy Star rating. Back to this type. Yes, I know the door's open. So with this type of ice maker, it's actually more energy efficient. You can have a good sized ice maker in a smaller area because there's no real moving parts, or you have to let the ice fall to the side to be able to drop down. It just falls straight down. So let me show you a demonstration of how this works. So we're just gonna pop this thing out here. Then I have this middle magic little test button right here. And so when I run this, you'll see it running, and then it flexes. Now you'll see this arm pull out right here. This arm that pulls out, that's the feeler arm. That's what tests when it's full. You'll see the ice maker. You'll see this part will stop here, and this part continues to flex like that. And at that point, it drops the ice out, and then it goes back to the home position. The problem is with this type of ice maker is, over time, we know it's going to fail because it is flexing, just like those blue plastic molds you have. You know that they would fail. Unfortunately, this is going to be the same thing with this type of ice maker, and it's not going to fail quickly. Typically, where I'm seeing it, somewhere between 6 to 7 years down the road, these ice makers will start having issues. And what they start having issues with is the molds will crack, and so when they crack, they'll flex, and they won't necessarily have the pressure there to flex them enough to have the ice fall out of them, so the ice gets stuck in the mold, and so the ice doesn't fall out. So when the ice maker comes back to the home position and it fills up with water, well, there's already ice still in it. So the ice at that point is basically blocking where the water will go. So the water will fill up in there, and the ice will run over the mold and run into the ice bin. And then you have this nice waterfall cascade coming out your door here, because that's where all the water is going, because it's not going into the mold, it's going into the bin, which is dropping out the door here. And now you have Niagara Falls, and you have the dog there licking up the floor, or you walk across the kitchen and you slip and you fall and you say, I've fallen and I can't get up. Yeah, I know. That is the problem where I'm seeing with this type. Now, there is another issue with this one too, and that has to do with if you have water that has lots of calcium in it. The filters in the refrigerator for the ice and water, they are a taste and odor filter. They're designed to take the taste out of the water and the odor out of the water, but they leave all the minerals in it. So if you have high calcium, that water that goes into that mold, as it goes there and it makes the ice itself, over time that calcium starts to build up within that mold. And when it flexes like that, even if it's not cracked, that calcium acts like glue. And so when it flexes, it holds the ice in that piece. And so again, it doesn't fall out. So again, we have our waterfall effect with the water that's filling the ice maker itself. Is it a good thing? Well, it is what it is. Now you say, well, do I have to clean it? I'm not sure how you're going to clean it, because you have to pull the ice maker out of the machine. You'd have to try to scrub it. You'd have to try to make it clean to put back in it to work. I don't know if really that's feasible, possible, unless you have a technician do it, and we're going to look at that and say, just replace the ice maker. Typically, it's going to take a lot of time to scrub all that stuff out, and is it worth our time? No, it's not. And is it worth your time? Probably. But you'd have to pull it out, soak it in vinegar, let the vinegar do its job, and then reinstall it to have it work again. So is it a pain? Yes. Is it feasible? Not really. Is it possible? Yes. But that is a problem with the flex mold type, but this is what most refrigerators are getting nowadays, especially on bottom freezers, because of space concerns and how they work, because they actually work really well, but that is the actual problem with this type of ice maker. So that really covers the newer flex mold ice makers. Let's talk about the standard mold. Okay, now we're going to talk about a standard ice maker or a traditional ice maker, ones that have been around forever. Now, most manufacturers are going away from this type of ice maker strictly for energy usage reasons. We talked about that earlier. These are the type that's been tried and true, been around forever. They work really well. So let's talk about this type. Now this type is a little different than the flex mold. Now this type has a standard mold. When it fills up with water, basically that's where you get your half cube or your half radius type of ice cube, where most of the time with the flex mold, you'll get the square type cubes that come out individually, and they're a lot squarer. This type uses a thermostat and it uses a heater. So when the mold gets cold enough to make ice or to cycle, you have fingers that rotate around, and that fingers come down and they start pushing on the ice cubes themselves. While it's pushing on the ice cubes itself, there's a heater that comes on in the bottom of that mold. So when the ice basically melts and solidifies at the very bottom of it, it can push that ice through, and it rotates up the top, and then it slides off what's called the stripper. It strips the ice away from the ice maker itself. It slides down the stripper and into the bin. Now, when it slides into the bin, the motor keeps rotating around till it gets to a certain point where it fills the mold back up with water to start the whole thing over again. This is a standard type ice maker. I have the mold here, and our fingers right back here, so I'm going to push the middle magic button right here. In just a moment, you know, through the magic of technology and the ability to be able to make this run so I can test it, this will start running. Yes, it's running, but it's very slow. But through the magic of technology, you'll see it rotate here in a minute, but it actually is rotating. I can feel it, and the fingers are rotating here. But this type of ice maker is very slow compared to a flex mold ice maker where you can almost immediately see it turn. This takes a few minutes for it to harvest the ice and get the ice out of the ice maker, unlike it does with the flex mold. So this takes a little bit longer to make ice overall, in my opinion. Well, gosh, it's a couple minutes. Well, a couple minutes every time you harvest during the day, times all day long, that's a lot of time. But this is rotating. If you actually watch, this arm is moving right here. This is what's called the feeler arm. It is slowly moving right here. That is what determines how full your ice bin is. That lever moves back on this particular model, and then when it drops the ice, it moves forward. Now, if something will stop it from moving all the way forward, it knows that the ice bin is full, and it won't produce any more ice until you've used ice and it's gone down to the point that that arm can rotate all the way back out. So that is the shut off for this. It is sliding back now. It is flush with it. Instead of being in front of it, it's way back here now. And the fingers are almost ready to stick their head up right here, and you can see them. At least I can see them. You might be able to see it on camera here in a second. But at this point, this is starting to rotate around. But that's this type of ice maker and how this type of ice maker works. Benefits of this type of ice maker. It's traditional, it's been around forever. It's tried and true technology. You're not gonna have things breaking because it is flexing all the time. You're gonna have the reliability, but on the negative side of it, well, you have this long time to wait for it to cycle. You're adding heat into the ice maker bin assembly. So again, you're making it less efficient. You're actually using more energy overall because you have a heater on the bottom of this. It's painfully slow. But It isn't noisy like a flex mold is. You don't hear it rotating and crunching and making all those flexing noises that you have to be panicked about either. But that's this type of ice maker. So again, you don't have to clean this type of ice maker either. It's just something you don't have to worry about with this unit. Generally, you won't have the calcium problem we will with the flex mold, because if the calcium builds up into it, where I said before that the ice won't fall out of it, this one, it will still push it through, but you will have a lot more calcium in the ice cubes itself. So when you put your ice cubes into a nice clean glass of water and you sit there and you look at it for a minute and you see all these things start floating out of your ice cubes down through the glass, that's the calcium that's actually built up in your ice cubes itself, and that's what's falling inside your glass. So it's not harmful. It's stuff you drink every day anyway. You just don't see it when it's not in ice form, but that's what it is. So that's the benefits to this one and the not so benefits of this one, but that's basically the two different types of ice makers that are in machines. Now there is one more type that's called a craft ice maker, and that's in the LGs, and that's where it makes those nice little round balls that people love. Craft ice makers are great. Again, they have a rubber mold, or basically a rubber boot inside of it that's silicone that they use to push the ice out of it, and they are slow. You have two options with when you have this. When you have a craft ice maker, you can have it make 6 balls in 24 hours. You can have it make 3 balls within 24 hours. The difference is basically how clear it is and how round the ball is. They are slow because there's so much water they have to freeze. So if you have a craft ice maker and you like them, great. I personally am not a big fan of them because I don't really care for ice. So you have to take that opinion and just kind of throw it out the door. But I'm being straight up honest with you, I don't do ice. Sorry. But that's the differences between them. Craft ice makers have only been around for 6-7 years tops. As far as reliability, well, they had some issues with them to begin with. With anything, when they put something new in there, is growing pains. They pretty much have got those problems resolved with the craft ice makers. If you were to ask me a few years ago how reliable they were, I'd say they're not very reliable. We're replacing a lot of them. They've fixed the reliability problem. They've been super reliable in the last few years through a couple changes, through engineering changes, and also through some software changes that they introduced into the newer LGs that have really changed the dynamic of it and really have dropped their problems to very little. So if you'd asked me a few years ago, are they reliable? No. Now, yes. Don't be worried about the craft ice makers. Just know that they can fail and they can get a calcium buildup like the flex molds, where it doesn't necessarily want to release the ice balls after a while. But when you come to that point, you're going to be replacing the ice maker. You're not going to be cleaning it, because to try to clean it is super hard and it's not worth your time to do it. And there's not a technician that's going to sit there and run vinegar through it to clean it out. So let's talk about the differences between, do I need to clean my standard ice maker versus an ice machine? And that's your countertop ones or your ones that go underneath that make 50 pounds in a day. Those type need cleaning because those have water constantly running through them. There's always water constantly being pulled into it, ran into it, and all the pieces are internal, and it's expecting everything to be right to keep working properly because it is constantly working. That's the only way it can make all this ice in a day. Even with the countertop ones, they say clean them every once a week or once every other week. They tell you to clean them with vinegar and clean them with solutions and stuff like that. That's for the countertop ones. The big ones, you should be cleaning them at least every 3 months, in my opinion. Some manufacturers may say longer. I say you're playing with fire, especially when you're spending, $5,000 to $6,000 for an ice machine. Clean them every 3 months. I'm just telling you, save yourself the hassle. And if you need to refer to my other videos, you'll see me bagging on them then too. Just clean them, okay? But as far as your standard ice maker in a refrigerator, you generally don't need to clean them because there's nothing to really clean. You'd basically have to be able to pull the ice maker out of the machine. You'd have to be able to put them in vinegar. You'd have to undo electrical connections, do a lot of stuff that most consumers don't want to be doing, or could be doing it wrong, or it could affect the refrigerator if they do it wrong. My advice is a standard ice maker in refrigerators, you don't need to clean them, just let them be. If there's a problem with it, call a technician, or if you have a problem with something within the ice maker, like you got some buildup in or something, generally the best thing to do is just replace the ice maker instead of trying to clean it, because it can be a hassle if that is the case. Now, what I mean by cleaning your ice machine, you have to follow the manufacturer's instructions on how to do it. Now, sometimes manufacturers have videos for it, sometimes they're written instructions, but I'm telling you, most manufacturers on YouTube have instructions on how to clean the machine. But cleaning the ice machines it does require a descaler cleaner or a special type of cleaner. And there is a certain way you have to clean it, by pressing clean buttons, by doing a bunch of other stuff, by draining water out of reservoirs. They make it pretty straightforward that everybody can do it that owns one, but you do have to follow their instructions to do it. That's the biggest thing with them, is just following the instructions, doing it, and takes a little bit of time. Now, generally an ice maker cleaning will take you anywhere between 20 to 45 minutes, depending on the ice maker. So it will take up a little bit of your time. Just turn on a football game, turn on some sporting event, turn on the World Cup, it's coming up, turn on something, but just do it while you're doing that and just listen to it in the background. All you have to do is just put the stuff in there, let the machine do its thing, and just come back and do the steps as needed to take care of the cleaning for that ice machine. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video today. I hope it's been informative about the different types of ice makers that are available, and hopefully it cleared up some of the questions we get on cleaning of ice makers and ice machines, because they are different. And yeah, we use different vocabulary because we're very specific, but most people think an ice maker is an ice maker. Well, industry, ice maker, ice machine. So I hope we clear that up for you. If you have any questions or any comments, please put them below in the comment section. We'd be happy to answer them for you, and we'll see you again real soon.